My boss is an amazing guy who has worked himself up from being a janitor to the owner of the company that he now owns 51% of. He's self-made, smart, quick-witted, and fair. The only problem is that he takes his work extremely seriously and often works 14-hour days. This causes him to miss out on things with his family and also to not really take any time off for himself. I try to remind him that he needs to slow down, but sometimes I feel like it's just falling on deaf ears. So when I heard that one of my coworkers was throwing him a surprise birthday party, I thought I had a great prank to play on him. You see, my boss is bald and has a very healthy head of skin where no hair dares to grow. So I went on to Amazon and ordered a very realistic-looking toupee that I thought would be funny to put on his chair. Then, on the day of his birthday, I put the toupee on his chair and waited for him to sit down. The plan was that he would then lean back in his chair and accidentally smack the toupee right into his face. Now, I wasn't expecting much from this prank, but it was actually a pretty solid hit, and he yelped in surprise before realizing what was going on. Everyone in the office laughed, and even his wife and kids joined in. After I explained the harmless prank, he took it in stride and everyone headed over to the restaurant for his surprise party. But later that day, he called me into his office for a chat. To be honest, I was dreading this conversation because I knew he was gone. Nah, chew me out for my little prank. But instead, he looked at me with genuine concern and asked if everything was okay. It turns out that he'd been having some issues with patches of his hair falling out for a while now, but hadn't really given it too much thought, because he never really liked having hair anyway. But after seeing the toupee on his chair, he started to panic because it suddenly made him realize that he was going bald. He told me that he was worried about looking old and losing his good looks, and I could tell that he was genuinely upset about it. I tried to comfort him by saying that it was just hair and that he was still good looking, but he didn't seem to want to hear it. That's when I decided to come clean about the prank. I explained to him that it was just a joke, and that I didn't know how he felt about losing his hair until now. He sighed and ran a hand through what little hair he had left on top of his head. It's just, everyone always jokes about how much hair I have, so I never thought it would bother me. But I guess it does, he admitted. I guess I don't have to worry about that anymore. Was I a bad person for pranking him about something that I didn't know was a sensitive topic for him? Am I the asshole for lying to his face about the toupee? After talking to him, I realized that it probably wasn't a good idea to prank him about something that I knew nothing about. I should have asked him first, or at least researched more about the toupee before I did it. I didn't mean to make him feel bad about himself, especially because deep down I know he is a good person who deserves all the happiness in the world. But ever since that day, he hasn't been the same around me. He seems distant and cold and sometimes gives me the silent treatment whenever we pass each other in the hallway. Before the incident, we had a good working relationship and were on a first-name basis. We also joked around quite a bit, and he was always willing to lend a helping hand whenever I needed it. Now he barely acknowledges my existence and has started calling me by my last name instead of my first. I know that he's probably just letting me know that he's upset with me, but I can't help but feel that it's gone too far. I've tried apologizing multiple times, but he either ignores me or says that it's fine, but I can tell that it's not. This whole situation has made me feel guilty, and I feel like I've lost my best friend at work. I don't know what to do to fix this, and I'm starting to think that my actions will forever ruin our relationship. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to read from the Am I the Assholes? So let's jump into it. The first comment says, you said yourself that he was joking about your boss's hair, yet you decided to single-handedly change that for him. This isn't a normal situation where someone is pranking you with a harmless prank. This was supposed to be a harmless prank, and I'm not saying it was a terrible thing that you did, but it was inappropriate, because he was joking about something that he didn't know bothered you. So in that sense, it was more than a harmless prank. It was malicious. The second comment says, the dude is a millionaire who likely has very high. A lot of people would be very happy to be in Op's shoes. Even though OP thinks his reaction was extreme, I don't think it was unreasonable. OP is making a big deal out of nothing. I get that he is disappointed in himself for pranking his boss about something that he didn't know he was insecure about, but he shouldn't feel guilty. His boss was joking about his hair in a way that made him comfortable enough to make a joke about it. Insecurity doesn't make someone a bad person. And in this case, Op didn't know that his boss was insecure about losing his hair. Therefore, OP didn't know that he was crossing a line. It was a stupid prank, but it wasn't a malicious prank. And I think that OP is overreacting about his boss being cold towards him ever since the incident. If anything, OP should be flattered that his boss still talks to him after what he did. I do think that OP is the asshole for lying to his boss's face about the toupee. but I do think that he's being a little dramatic about his boss's reaction. Alright, that was the end of part 2, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that subscribe button.